gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Tempers flared today during a special city council meeting aimed at reducing the amount of crime across the city.
But council members heard from residents fed up with a years-long spike in violence. Council also started putting some solutions potentially on the table.
So, guys, I want to bring back this clip. We reviewed it 3 months ago, but nothing has changed really, and we're speaking on the same topic. So I want to show you guys the progression of how the city council meetings have just completely gone insane. And at this point, the people of New Orleans are fed up for something that they actually voted in.
Proposing a series of measures that touch on things like responsible gun ownership, truancy, and juvenile curfew. Now, the city's health director is even calling the crime a public health crisis in New Orleans. Homicides, assaults, robbery, and theft have all seen double-digit increases over the past year. The meeting today was stopped several times as people got angry and started shouting.
When you got to go to the gas station with your gun in your hip, when you got to go to the grocery store with your gun on your pocket, that's a war zone.
Where is the facilities?
Where are your kids? I mean, they're asking for facilities. I mean, those things have already been tried. The rec centers have already been tried. They shot them up. Where are the Walmarts? We've talked about why the Walmarts are leaving the community, why other businesses are leaving the community. This issue has to be solved internally, okay? It really does.
Where's Noah? We need facilities like Noah. Noah changed my life as a child.
Obviously, a lot of people frustrated, and residents are now also calling for a living wage and better education and a renewed emphasis on programs giving young people an alternative to crime.
Eleanor Tabone talked to 3 women who were speaking at today's meeting.
3 women, tired of the bloodshed and not afraid to share their thoughts on the city they love.
It's fruitless to try to hold a meeting to say you want to hold people accountable for crime when you don't really take the opportunity to address why the crime is the way it is.
Teacher.
So here goes the excuse making why the crime is it. It's all going to go back to white supremacy. And okay, I get it, but we have to stop beating that drum and work internally. Look, man, where are your kids at today? That's the first step. You know, has your kid bust a gun? Does your kid have ops? That's what we need to be asking.
And education advocate Aretha Lewis was one of many who spoke to City Council Wednesday in a city that lost 266 lives to violence last year. She believes the city needs to get to the root of the problem.
Putting bread on the dinner table, having safe housing, having a job that's paying you a living wage so people can pay their electric bill, their water bill.
I mean, these super gremlins are not, a lot of them aren't lacking anything. You know, they might have $200-300 Jordans on and blow your brains out. And they're not hitting licks and jacking cars to take them to the chop shop anymore, which, I mean, if that was happening, then okay, I'd kind of get it. But they're just going on a quick little joyride, and they will delete you over that 15 minutes of fun to act as if they were in, you know, a Grand Theft Auto simulation.
Still being able to afford dinner. That's a tough decision that many families in the city are making every day.
She believes the conversation around crime needs to address the importance of education. It's a conversation she's already been having with struggling families.
I've had students living in their car with a parent and 4 children living in one vehicle. Without a decent education, then you can't get a good job. And without a good job, then you can't afford to pay for where you live or put food on the table. So I think everything starts and ends with education.
Just one system of many that aren't working.
We spend all our money on tourism and other things instead of our citizens. And
Ashana Brigard says city leaders need to stop blaming the children and start helping them.
Let me get this straight. Living in a car, being depressed, being stressed out, not having food to eat is not an excuse? Well, then if that's not an excuse, what is?
She says the city cannot arrest its way out of poverty.
How am I gonna pay $2,000 of rent, $500 for electricity, and $750 for eggs while making $10 an hour at Walmart?
But the reality is these issues have been going on before. I mean, inflation's always been going up, right? There's a upward trend with the cost of goods, which we all understand. However, the issues in the community have persisted throughout, good and bad economic times. Okay? Things were a little bit under control when 45 was in here, and now it's run amok. I mean, the streets are bleeding right now. So, to place blame on it really just doesn't make sense what she's saying. Okay, to say, oh well, the price of things going up. Yeah, things have been going up, and yes, this sudden increase, I wouldn't say that it's directly correlated to crime. I think crime was just trending up based off of guys understanding that, hey, I'm not really gonna have to do time for anything anymore. The consequences are a lot less steep.
And $750 for eggs while making $10 an hour at Walmart. That's not even possible.
Dr. Ashanta White says children need love and validation.
There's something the children are getting from the street that they're not getting from the community, from our schools, from our homes, and they're seeking it.
Without it, they feel like their voice and cries don't hold value.
Until we start investing in people and put the political agendas aside, the city is going to continue to burn.
3 very passionate women calling for change, not tomorrow, but now. Not just for their children, but for their city.
But who did they vote for? I guarantee 100% they all voted for Biden.
We can't take care of our basic needs. Yeah, a lot of people are going to commit crime.
Eleanor Tabone, Eyewitness News.
It's very complex, and I hope that we can mess it off.
Excuse me.
No. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Look.
At the end of the day,
Excuse me.
Follow a form
Excuse
of
me.
order.
Look, excuse me, sir.
You see it there. It was at times a chaotic council meeting today, with the city council turning its focus to the spike in violent crimes in New Orleans as they try and learn what the root of the problem is and how to address it. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for watching. I'm Katie Moore.
And I'm Sharice Gibson. Council members are trying to learn what the root of the crime problem is and how to address it.
They sure are. And Paul Murphy was at that special meeting. He's joining us live from City Hall tonight with all the details. Paul?
Katie, Sharice, the temperature and the mood inside the city council meeting are a direct reflection of the frustration and anger many residents feel. And the city's current crime trajectory is troubling, and there are no simple solutions to the problem. In New Orleans, crime hits close to home for many. City council members heard from neighbors now demanding action.
When you got to go to the gas station with your gun in your hip, when you got to go to the grocery store with your gun on your pocket, that's a war zone.
Where is the facilities? Where is NOR? We need facilities like NOR. NOR changed my life as a child. We went from integration to gentrifications, all on the back of miseducation. So if you want to fix crime, fix the schools.
We have gun control, we have this, we have that.
Mr. Perkins?
And we're doing the same old crazy, insane things over and over and over again.
The special meeting on crime comes at a...
And, we're not keeping that same energy for the super gremlins who are actually out here doing the crime. I mean, if they can't even come to an agreement at the city council meeting about who's actually doing what, then we ain't going nowhere as far as solutions go.
At a time when the city is experiencing its highest murder rate since 1996. Crime analyst Jeff Asher gave an overview showing aggravated assault, armed robbery, car theft, and vehicle burglaries have all seen double-digit increases year over year. Emotions ran high in the chamber as tempers flared at times in the crowd. The meeting had to be stopped several times to get the situation under control. One woman was handcuffed and others were escorted.
Yo, look at this little glider clerk. She's like, oh my, what's going on here?
Get the situation under control. One woman was handcuffed and others were escorted by police out of the meeting.
Whereas people saw the conflict and the raised voices today as chaos, what I saw that is a community that's in pain.
City council.
Yeah, I mean, this is the biggest turnout from the community that we've seen at any type of gathering that was meant to, you know, find some type of solution to stopping the violence. I mean, we just don't show up, okay, in great numbers like that. And the gliders, they've done all they can. They're leaving, okay? Just like the business that we covered is leaving, they're leaving. And they're just like, hey, y'all take over, y'all do what y'all got to do, and we'll see where it goes from there. You know, they're just completely like, hey, we're giving the city to y'all. And, you know, they've done that in several major cities across the United States, Atlanta being one, and it's not turning out too well.
Members proposed a series of measures to address what they called an epidemic of crime. They touched on topics such as responsible gun ownership, truancy, and juvenile curfew. City Health Director Dr. Jennifer Avegno called violent crime a public health crisis in the city. She said the data shows murder is the fourth leading cause of death for black men in New Orleans.
I submit that we would not tolerate any other disease that targeted a segment of our community so deliberately with such deadly results, and so this, from a public health perspective, should be no different.
Woo, and that is a glider saying that. But, you know, the community, they ain't gonna like to hear that, especially when you ask her, hey, well, who are the ones murdering these young black men? Oh, well, it's other young black men. You know, it doesn't go over well. You can't really sell that. And that's why we don't really see much change. And, you know, everybody is still going to continue to vote blue. So, I mean, we're stuck in this kind of limbo phase where it's, you know, every man for himself in the community at this moment. And it's a pretty scary place for a young black man, a Malcolm, all right, a mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man in this day and age, fending against these super gremlins on demon time.
With such deadly results, and so this, from a public health perspective, should be no different.
City Councilman Oliver Thomas put a finer point on the crisis, saying crime knocks on every door, including his own.
Just in the last couple of months, my family, 57 bullets riddled car of one family member, and then burying another, a loved one, with a bullet in the head just a couple weeks ago.
And most of the crime-fighting measures will be taken up for debate by various city council committees in the coming weeks. We're live at New Orleans City Hall. Paul Murphy, Eyewitness News.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe, hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jinquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all tell me what they say.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
what more do you want from me?
So the story that you guys have all been waiting for, this just ended. We have a man shot, deleted in the parking lot of a Church's Chicken on St. Claude. Okay, so let's get into this. One man is dead after shooting in the parking lot of Church's Chicken on St. Claude. The New Orleans Police Department is on scene. Police say the shooting happened in the 4300 block of St. Claude Avenue. Investigators say the man was shot at least one time. The victim was taken to the hospital by EMS, where he later died. And this is actually the scene here. You know, being shot outside of a Church's Chicken is not a good look. We have brothers in the community who are beefing over chicken. And it doesn't help the stereotypes. It doesn't help the narrative of black men. It doesn't help the image of black men. When we talk about rebranding or recreating our image, this is not what we're looking for. Okay? We definitely got to do better. At least we got to stop shooting up these chicken joints. Because it is not looking good. You know, we had P&B Rock at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle. I've done several stories at shootings at the KFC. And now this, another one at Church's Chicken. I think we had one outside of the Chick-fil-A as well in Atlanta, Fulton County. Guys, what are we doing? Gotta do better. These super chicken loving gremlins are on demon time.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Anywhere.
So it is what it is.